Okay, in this video we'll show how you can manage the scenarios in the admin screen. So firstly, you will need the username that has super admin access. So super admin access needs to be manually created by myself. If you require any user to have super admin access, you can just let me know. So I've created one Sean Sher that has super admin access. So to access the admin screen, we'll use the admin login. And there will be a new item here called the Manage Scenario button link that we can click on. And once it is clicked on, we can see that the Manage Scenario screen will list down all the available scenarios that we have in the system. Right, so a little bit on the ordering. The ordering is how the system orders the scenario. So a smaller number will appear above and a higher number will appear lower and so forth until we reach the largest number found. So as you can see also the scenario has most scenarios has gaps in between. So we can actually insert, let's say we want to move this scenario in between these two scenarios. So we can just change the ordering to 1, 2, 5. So it allows us room to modify the ordering if we require it. All right, so we have three sections here: edit, Q&A, and images. We will go through them. Edit is for us to edit the body of the scenario. Q&A is for us to edit the question and answers in the scenario, and the images allows us to change the scenario image and also the flowchart. So let's go into the edit first. So once you click on the edit button, the scenario loads up and you can make changes to the title, the text, the category. One note on the category is that you need to keep the spelling and the capitalization the same as the other ones. So like for instance, job orientation, you can't have a small O on this job orientation. It will be listed as a different category. So you need to keep the spelling and capitalization the same. Ordering, as we mentioned earlier, and scenario visibility. So visible scenario, active scenario, if it's checked, means that it will show in the system and the user can interact with the system. If it's not active, it is hidden from the user. We will come into this again later, the active. So let's turn it back on. Also for the laws and policy, full solutions, areas of concern. So these are basically just text editor which you can highlight the text and edit itself. And this little grab handle here makes it resizable. So in case you need a bigger or smaller editor. So once you've made the changes, you click on Save Changes, but in this case I won't. So we will make some changes on a test category. So as you can see, if you look at the ERIR, there is no category as test category. This is because that the visibility that is active is false, is not showing now. So if you click on the edit button, you can see that the scenario is not active. So if we check it to make it active and we make the change, click on Save Changes. So we will now see that the scenario will be displayed here. So let me refresh the page. So there we have it, the scenario category. Right, and this active can be turned on and off. It doesn't impact the system. We only use it mainly because if we are creating a new scenario, it's not ready, still being prepared, so we turn it off. Or if this scenario is no longer applicable, we can just turn it off. New scenarios needs to be created by me at the moment. I will try to make some admin screens later on. Let's go to the next one, the Q&A. So the Q&A are actually the question and answers. If you look at this scenario that I select on, it will have the question 1, question 2, and in this case we also have a question 3. So let's go to the first scenario, newly joins your department. So as you can see, take the questionnaire, We have the questions that are showing here. The ordering is out a little bit, but this will be adjusted later on once I upload the changes. So it will show as question 1, question 2, and then question 3. So don't worry about the ordering first. So as you can see, let's say we want to edit question 3. So the current text is testing, testing. As you can see, testing, testing. So we just need to click on the button, edit the scenario, and make some changes like and once everything is assuming it's okay, you click on save to make the changes. So that's how you just edit a particular questionnaire. So each scenario can have a maximum of 3 questionnaires. So we do not support more than 3 questionnaires. For instance, we do not want to show question 3, we can just turn off the active, which I'll show you later as well. So I'll come back to here, the ERIR, and refresh. So this scenario, now we have, this is a test question, so it has changed already itself. Right, so if we want to hide it, let's go back here, and we just need to make sure that this question is not active and save the changes. And we go back to the ERIR again, refresh the page, and now we see that question 3 is no longer available. So if the scenario has only one question, we will just leave the question 1 as active and the question 2 and 3 as not active, so it will not be interactive in the system. All right, so moving on to the next one. So click back to manage scenario to go back to the main screen, or you can also click on this link here. Right, so the images are the images that show for the scenario. So this is one of the images, and if you look at some scenarios, they have a flow chart here. So this images management also lets us put in flow charts for the full solution. So let's try out a demo. Let's look at the test category and see that we have this image and this image as well. So we can go to the maintenance screen and click on the QnA to make changes. Sorry, click on the images. Right, so here we have the scenario image and the full solution. Just click on choose file. So let's say the file, I'll choose something else. So it will show the file name here, but it will not refresh the page until you click on save changes. So let's make a change on the flowchart as well. So for the flowchart, we'll choose something else and just click on save, and you'll see that the title has changed. And once we are satisfied, click on save changes and go back to the ERIR. If we refresh the scenario now, you can see that the image has changed and the full solution flowchart has changed as well. So for flowcharts, you need to use an image not more than 600 pixels, because if you use larger than that, it will actually expand beyond the screen. All right, so going back to manage scenarios again. So these are the 3 changes that we can make right now. Coming soon will be the document forms and letters. So this allows us to upload and set document forms and letters for each particular scenario. So once this feature is ready, I will create another video to explain on how to use it. But right now we have the edit body, question and answers, and images available for editing now.